filming?
Yeah.
Then I can't say what I want to say.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very special guest. This is my mom. Today she had the great idea of us going to the drugstore and picking up some newer, or at least new to us, products to try over the next couple weeks or until the next time I come home, because this is obviously not my apartment. And my no-buy is safe because I did not buy these things. Sponsored by Mom. Yay, Mom.
You're welcome. Sorry.
She has two under 10-pound terrors. So for the first part of this video, we're just gonna kind of show you what we bought. We haven't opened any of it yet or tried it yet. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
I picked up the Sun Touchable Elf 30 broad spectrum. These names are so long. 30 broad proof spectrum sunscreen. And it's supposed to be a dupe for the Super Goop.
I did hear that.
I hope it is, because the Super Goop pills.
Yeah, I've had that experience as well. When I wear the Super Goop under makeup, it pills. But I asked one of the, I don't know, the influencers on TikTok or YouTube community tab or something who had purchased this, if this one pilled, and she said no. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you think.
I hope it does not, because pilling is not a good look.
So the first thing I picked up was this, which I'm really excited about. This is the Milani, the Conceal and Perfect. It's the liquid highlighter though. I wanted to get the liquid contour, but every single store was sold out of my shade. So I picked up this one. This is obviously supposed to be like a take on the Charlotte Tilbury, like contours and highlighters with like the sponge applicators. But I'm excited to try it. I am not gonna buy the Charlotte Tilbury one because that's like $40. Hopefully this one's very beautiful. I've heard it is. I've heard good things, so I'm excited about this.
The next thing I picked up was the L'Oreal True Match. I've heard such good reviews regarding this. Typically, I don't use drugstore foundation, so I'm really excited to see how it works for me.
Yeah, she's kind of a high-end girly.
So it's going to be a really good experience to see.
I hope it's a good experience.
How things, good or bad experience, to see how things compare.
Yeah.
Now that it's got a pump, hey, even better.
I don't even know if I remember what it really was like to wear it. It was so long ago. I promise we're both over 21.
I'm not.
Not her. The next thing I picked up was this. This isn't really new, but I heard about it on, I want to say Julia Adams' channel, and I've never heard about it on anybody else's channels. It's this Maybelline Tattoo Studio Smoky eyeliner. Apparently you can really like smudge it out and the lasting power is super good. And I've been really into brown eyeliner lately over black, so I picked up the brown one. I've just heard good things, and I feel like I don't wear eyeliner enough. So did I need another eyeliner? Probably not, but we're trying it.
The next thing I picked up is the highly rated lash extensions by Milani. Now I have to tell you, I have used Thrive for a very long time. I like it, but I thought, if I can get the same quality out of a drugstore, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah. As a rule, I only think drugstore mascaras are worth it usually, but the Thrive Cosmetics tubing mascara was like my one exception. The tubing formula, drugstore wasn't really doing tubing, and so I was like, I'm willing to pay the money. This one though, I mean, this one, they're obviously trying to dupe Thrive. If you've seen Thrive Cosmetics mascara, it's exactly this color, so.
I love that. I think that's awesome.
I mean, same thing with this, right? Like this looks exactly like the Super Goop.
Why not?
Honestly, they're not even being slick anymore, and I love that for them. I picked up the ever controversial L'Oreal Telescopic Lift. Look, I've heard mixed reviews on whether or not it's actually a good mascara, but I mean, after all the controversy on TikTok, I was like, I just have to try it. And I know that was kind of the point, was to create controversy so the mascara would sell. But
I'm sure it's beautiful.
I'm a sucker, so I'm doing it anyway. I feel like it makes people's lashes look really good, but a lot of people say it flakes.
Oh, flaking is no good. No.
And I mean, even for drugstore, that's like a $15 mascara.
Which is a lot. Okay, my next pickup product, it is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. And I must tell you, I am not a big primer person.
Yeah.
Typically, I use my
sunscreen.
Exactly, sunscreen, hopefully this one.
Yeah.
And then I go on with my foundation. So I'm really excited to see how I like that.
Yeah. And she got the one that also has 4% niacinamide in it.
Good for old skin.
Yeah, and also you're a little oilier than I am.
I am oily.
We have a little bit different skin types. She's fairly oily, and niacinamide's generally good for oil control. I'm pretty dry, and I have also found out that niacinamide literally breaks me out if I wear it.
Sorry for you.
The next thing I picked up is one of the new Essence Pure Nude blushes. I have talked very highly on this channel about the Pure Nude highlighter. I absolutely love that thing, and when I found out that they were coming out with a line of Pure Nude blushes, I was so excited. So this is the shade that I got. I think it's really, really beautiful. I'm kind of a sucker for these kind of earthy pink tones. The shade name is Rosy Rosewood. Clever. Clever.
Rosy Rosewood.
Yeah. This is like $6 though, so.
They don't pay, obviously. They're people a lot of money to come up with names.
To come up with names.
The next product I picked up was the NYX.
She likes to call it NYX.
Lift and Snatch. I've heard this is really good stuff, so I'm really curious about trying it.
I have it. I love it. So I think you're going to like it. Brow pens are kind of a learning curve, though. If you hate it the first couple times you use it, that's okay, because it takes some time to learn how to use a brow pen. The next thing I got was this lip gloss from CoverGirl, because I just think it's adorable. These are the Clean Fresh Yummy Gloss. I got mine in the shade You're Just Jelly. They're not super pigmented, so I thought it would be fine to get kind of a darker shade, and I've been more into that lately. So mine, like, it's really not super pigmented. But they're really shiny and they smell really good, and I heard on TikTok that they were great, so I'm excited.
The next thing I picked up is the e.l.f. O-Face. I've heard really good things about it. Hope it works out. I typically use high-end lipsticks, and so I'm going to be really curious to see how this works out for me.
Yeah, the videos I've seen of that on Instagram are like beyond. They look beautiful. She got the shade Effortless, by the way. It's this like mauve-y kind of color.
I'm new here.
She's learning. And then the last thing is the H-E-B we went to had Moira Cosmetics. So I got this like eyeshadow duo. It's called the Total Match Duo Shadow. I got the shade combo This and That. And so you can see there's like this brown matte shade on one side and this shiny kind of taupey shade on the other side. I think it's going to be good. I love the stuff I've tried from Moira so far, so I'm excited about this one. So those are the products we picked up.
And we're going to test them out and get back to you.
Sometime.
I think a good test time is a week or so.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But I might not be here in a week. At most, we'll probably spend 2 weeks on it.
She'll definitely be here when it's laundry time.
Yeah. So we'll be back to you. See you in a week or two. So we're back. We are back after an unspecified period of time trying those products. And when I got back, she had a brilliant idea that we should trade products. So today we did a little first impressions with each other's makeup. You didn't have that great an experience.
My makeup that I purchased was pretty doggone good. The stuff that she purchased for me was not good to me. But the whole point is that we wanted to give you
we wanted to give you an idea of like what works for different people and kind of just
old and young. How about that? We wanted to let you know what works well for older skin and what works well for younger skin. And so here we go.
So mostly I think we kind of agreed on what was good and what wasn't, but we had a couple of minor differences in opinion. So we'll go ahead and start talking about these one by one.
The first thing I tried was this e.l.f. sunscreen. And I have to tell you, this is amazing. It goes on really well, really smoothly. No pilling. So this is not a dupe for
the Supergoop.
The Supergoop. Because it's just a pill. It's awesome.
Yeah, I have this on under my makeup today. I tried it as like a first impression. Usually I don't do chemical sunscreens because they break me out, but I can do it here and there. It goes on beautifully. It's actually a little bit less like glowy, sparkly than the Supergoop, but I like that because it means you could wear it by itself and not look insane. But the most important thing is that it doesn't pill under your makeup. My makeup looks amazing today. You can really see the glow through my foundation. I think it looks awesome. So highly, highly would recommend this for sure.
Absolutely.
This is a good one.
Next up, the L'Oreal True Match. This is a good little foundation. I think it takes a lot to build. I would wear it probably during the day to run errands or whatnot. I definitely wouldn't wear it to a important function. I think it's good. By the end of the day, Didn't look so good on me, but I think it's a good little foundation.
Yeah, I like this one as well. I have this on today because it was one of hers. First impression, I think it's pretty similar to the original True Match from when I remember trying it like years and years ago. Having a pump is so much better because it's a pretty liquidy consistency, and just kind of trying to pour that all over your hand was a huge pain in the ass. So this is way better. But I mean, it still looks really nice on the skin. I agree with you though. The coverage is not crazy. It's very much like light medium-ish. It's not going to be like a full glam foundation, but I usually don't need a full glam foundation. I think my skin looks great. It lets the glow come through from the e.l.f. sunscreen underneath it, and it doesn't emphasize any texture or anything. I don't know if I would love this if I was like oily. Maybe that's why it didn't look good on you at the end of the day.
I think that's probably the end of the day. It was just kind of a mess.
Yeah, because she gets oily. I don't. So I've had this on for a few hours, and it looks good on me still, because I'm pretty dry. So I think this is more of a dry skin friendly foundation, but if you powder it well enough, I feel like an oily person can make it work.
Yeah,
so
I could make it work.
Yeah.
Just not 9-10 hours.
Yeah. I feel like it does the job, you know? Like,
Absolutely.
it's a good foundation.
Absolutely. Next up, the e.l.f. primer. And I don't have much good to say about this primer. It is so sticky. Sticky, sticky, sticky. And every time I wore it, my makeup was uncomfortable. I tried it with my regular NARS makeup. I tried it with, obviously, with True Match. It just kind of made my face hurt, which it was pretty weird to me, but definitely not for me.
Yeah, I didn't try this one because, like I said earlier in the video, niacinamide and I, we don't get along. It breaks me out. So this one I didn't try. I've tried e.l.f.'s other gripping primers, though, which I've heard are basically the same as the Power Grip. I like sticky primers. So for me, that's not an issue. You know, different strokes for different folks. You don't like sticky primers. I do. I think that they make my makeup look really good.
It made my face hurt.
And we're pretty sure it broke you out.
Yeah, I did have a little bit of a breakout, and I think probably it was this.
Maybe
can't swear on it.
Maybe you're sensitive to niacinamide too.
I might be. Birds of a feather.
Apple tree.
That's it. I forgot. Apple tree, birds, feather. Yeah.
It's genetic. Anyway, yeah, she doesn't love the Power Grip thing. I like sticky primer, so you just kind of have to try it and figure it out for yourself, pretty much. Not that helpful advice on this one, but there's only really one way to know if you like this kind of texture. You kind of have to try it to know.
Absolutely.
So next I'm going to talk about the Milani Cream to Powder Foundation. I feel weird calling this a foundation because I just feel like it doesn't have the coverage. The texture is really, really pretty. I feel like it smooths over your pores and your lines, and it doesn't really settle in because it does kind of dry down to a more powdery finish. It's just that you have to use so much of this to cover anything, and I also kind of found that when I tried to put stuff on over it, it would move it around, and it would just take away whatever coverage I managed to build up. The other thing too is, I like the finish, but the more you build it up, I like the finish less and less. So if you want the finish and you have perfect skin, this is great, but if you are like me and you get red and you get pimples and you get
old like me, so I'll go ahead and give you
Exactly.
my 2 cents worth. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I just kept putting it on. I have it on now. Look, I couldn't blend my contour. Probably have it underneath here too. I could not blend anything.
Yeah, because it picks it right up.
It just didn't, I could not get it to cover any of my dark circles, any of my imperfections from age here. And I just, not a fan. But by the same token, I haven't been a fan of any cream to powder makeup. Have tried even very high end. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, for me, I've seen cream to powder products that are really, really intense coverage. Something like that might be better as like a full glam type of deal. This though, it's just, you have to use the thinnest layer for the texture to look good. And if the texture looks good, then you have no coverage. But if you get coverage, your texture looks like crap.
Right.
And yeah, it kind of slips and slides around, and I don't know. It's not my favorite, you know? If you're the kind of person who has really, really nice skin and you just kind of want like a gentle blur, this could do it for you. But
if you're 16, you'll love it.
but other than that, probably not. So the next product I tried was the Essence Pure Nude Blush in the shade Rosy Rosewood. Hilarious. That's what it looks like. I think this is cute. The color is cute. It's fine. Like, I don't think this is a groundbreaking blush formula by any stretch. It kind of goes on like a $6 blush. It's like too pigmented sometimes, but then not pigmented enough where I want it, and it's not the easiest to blend. It's not super smooth and luxurious like some Essence products I've tried. Like their Satin Touch blushes, those are what blushes should be like. These are like fine.
I agree. I have it on. It kind of skipped.
Yeah, it skips a little bit.
And then I had to put it on again, and then it was too much, and then I had to powder. It's a very pretty color. Just not the best blush formula.
Yeah, I feel like even for $6, you can do better at the drugstore.
Yeah.
There's lots of brands that sell blush for $6 or $7 that are like cream of the crop, top-notch quality. This just doesn't really do it for me. Like, I'm going to use it. I'm going to hang on to it. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to like it. Color is beautiful. All that stuff. It's just not amazing.
She'll be decluttering it in 2 months.
I don't appreciate being called out like that. So the next product is still in my drawers in my apartment because I forgot to bring it. But it's that Milani highlighter with the sponge tip. I'll put the picture here because I'm stupid. It's cute. It's a cute highlighter. I think for the money that you're spending, it's good. Like, it looks really pretty on. It blends into the cheek really easily. Like, compared to that Makeup Revolution highlighter with the sponge tip, leaps and bounds better than that one. That one is so sticky and like leaves a film. This one blends right in. It's a very pretty color. All of that is very good. Pretty thin in texture, a little bit glittery. So if that's not your thing, I probably wouldn't go for it. I don't think it's similar to the Charlotte Tilbury one. I've never tried the Charlotte Tilbury one, but it looks like that one has a little bit more of a thick formula, like a little more substance to it. And it's a completely different color. The Milani one is like almost a yellow gold, and the Charlotte Tilbury one is like a silvery pink kind of color. So if you're looking for a dupe for the Charlotte, they're completely different, but in its own right, it's a good highlighter. So she didn't get to try it because I didn't bring it home like an idiot. So
I didn't get to try it. But highlighter is really not my thing. Sometimes special occasions, nighttime, that would be about the only time.
And I don't think you would have liked it anyway because it's a little bit glittery.
Glitter just makes my wrinkles look older.
Wrinkly. So yeah, that's the Milani highlighter. You could take it or leave it. It's, it's good. It works. I like it, but it's definitely not the same as the Charlotte Tilbury.
So the NYX NYX is what I like to call it. It's kind of a crazy scratch and something or another.
Lift and snatch.
Yeah, that's it. Lift and snatch, scratch and lift, whatever. This I worked with for days, and I just can't make it work. I know people love it, and I might really love it too. It just might take me a couple, 3 months to figure out how to use it. So I can't really say it's bad. I can just say operator bad. Product probably pretty good.
I love the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen. It did take me time to learn how to use mine. The one thing I will say is that I recently had to actually declutter mine because it started leaking. The tip started leaking. So I didn't have it for that long. It very much still had a lot of product left in it. One alternative that I might suggest to the next one that hasn't done that to me is the Arches and Halos brow pen. I don't think every Target has Arches and Halos, but if you can find it, that's a really, really high quality brow pen, and I actually like the tip a little bit better than the NYX one. But in terms of while my NYX one was working, I loved it. So it does take time to learn how to use it, though. It's not easy.
Old dogs, new tricks.
Yeah, maybe. If you're more comfortable just using a brow pencil, they work fine, So it's not going to change your life, I don't think. But I like mine. The next thing I got was this Moira eyeshadow duo, which I was really excited about. And I am torn because the matte side of this is gorgeous. It's so smooth, so pigmented, so easy to blend on the eyes. It looks amazing. And the color is perfect. It looks like a pretty cool toned brown, but on the eyes it's a pretty neutral tone. So it goes with so many eye looks. I love this matte side.
In fact, we said the same thing.
Yeah.
I was putting it on today. I've got it on. And I said to Maddie, I said, you know, the brown in my crease is pretty doggone good.
The shimmer side, I was so disappointed. Like, it looks like it's going to be this amazing, you can't even really see, but in here it looks like liquid metal, taupey, silvery, like, deliciousness. And it just gives absolutely nothing on the eyes. Like,
I have it on my eyes.
you can't even tell. There's nothing there.
It is the least pigmented, sparkly thing I've ever put on my eyes. I look dead because I have no color on my eyes.
That's the thing too. There's no sparkle in it.
No.
There's none. At most, it's maybe a satin. It looked even shinier when I held up my hand the first time because it was still wet. But now it's starting to dry down. Like there's no
color.
reflectiveness.
Nothing.
And this amount of pigment on the eyes doesn't even show up.
Right.
You can't see it at all. It literally looks like barely a hint of a satin shadow. Every time I put that on, I felt like I needed to put a glitter topper on over it for it to look nice. Yeah, and it's a real shame because the matte side's amazing.
It really is.
So if what you want is like a really high quality matte cream shadow, I think buying the whole thing is worth it just to have the matte side. Don't expect anything from the shimmer side because that was the one that I was really excited about and I was very disappointed.
Me too.
So the next thing we tried is the Maybelline Smoky Gel Pencil Eyeliner. This one's the brown shade. I think this is so good. I'm not big on eyeliner. I almost never wear eyeliner. Usually because, especially with pencil eyeliners, they're either really, really hard and you have to drag them on your eyelid to get them to show up, or they're so creamy that they go everywhere and the line ends up being super thick when I didn't want it to be, and it just never turns out the way that I want it. This, every time I used it, it looked exactly how I wanted it to. And the lasting power is ridiculous. It never comes off. I mean, like, obviously when you want it to come off, it comes off, but like, it will not budge all day. I was so impressed with this. I really, really like this pencil.
It's to me, it's a gem. I am a huge user of the Revlon, and it's dry. It doesn't go across your eye smoothly. This is smooth. I thought, oh gosh, when I was putting it on, I thought, oh hell, this is gonna be all underneath my eyes and whatnot. And it stayed, and it was so smooth to put on. I really enjoyed it.
The line is never thicker than I want it to be. It goes exactly where I want it, dries down there, and stays there. This is such a hidden gem at the drugstore.
It really
I've
is.
only heard about this on one person's channel, so I need these to get more hype because they are so, so good.
I agree.
There's the brown one. I think they have a black and a gray. So
They need to come out with more colors.
we need a navy blue, we
Good
need a
stuff.
turquoise, we need
Absolutely.
a purple, we need lots and lots of colors of
stuff.
this because it is so good.
Really enjoyed it.
This is honestly, for me, from the ones that I bought, this is one of the standout products. This was absolutely fantastic.
Okay, on to the dupe for Thrive tubing mascara, and it's Milani. This is a good little mascara. Is it a dupe for Thrive? It's pretty close. The price point is not big enough to not get the Thrive. This was a little bit hard to go on. I had a little flaking. It's fine, but if you want to spend $10 more, do it and buy the Thrive. That's just $10. That's
Yeah.
it.
So yeah, like she said, I like it. I think it's good. It's a good tubing mascara. It hasn't come off on me at all. It was kind of hard to work with when I was putting it on though. And for me, the Thrive usually doesn't do that. If the Thrive starts to do that for me, my bottle is getting too old.
It's too old.
But this is brand new, so it's obviously not that. It's just kind of tough to work with. It's either not doing anything, but then if you try to build it up, it's going to start clumping.
Yes, that.
The Thrive, it's like one swipe and you look amazing because tubing mascaras don't build well.
No.
They're not supposed to. And so the fact that you have to try to build this one is kind of It works fine. If the Thrive one is just not in your budget, but you really want to try a tubing mascara, it will work for you, but you're going to have to work harder than you would with the Thrive.
And then on to Maddie's mascara.
She now has an active vendetta against the L'Oreal telescopic lift. Okay, here's my thing. Before I let her go on her rant, I liked how this made my lashes look. I thought once I got this to where I wanted it, my eyelashes were so long. I mean, they looked crazy long. It was actually incredible. And it didn't flake on me at all. I heard some people say they thought it flaked. It did not flake on me at all, and I wore it for a long time. I did a workout in it. Like, it did not come off. It was even actually a little bit hard to wash off at the end of the day. Like, it stays on. However, the effort you have to put into this to make it look good is insane. There was one day I was using this. I was late to where I was going because I spent so long trying to make my eyelashes look presentable. It is so wet. It gets everywhere. Your eyelashes look so clumpy. And then they have this comb on the side of like the wand that's supposed to like brush through your lashes. I don't know if you can really tell, but the sides have this comb thing. But there's product on the comb, so it's not separating your lashes. It's adding more product and making them more clumpy, and then you have to try to separate them again. So again, once you get them to where you want them to be, it works. It's great. But the problem is getting it to look good in the first place.
I love L'Oreal mascara. I've used the Voluminous for years. This is probably the worst mascara I've ever put on my eyes.
Yikes.
I talk about it not going on well. I had it, well, I still do. I mean, it's all clumped up and under my eyes, and then I'm having to get eye makeup remover to try to get it off. It took me 30 minutes to even try to make this look presentable, and it still doesn't.
I will say,
I don't know what in goodness have they done. It's just the worst I've ever put on my eyes.
I will say, I think part of the reason why she had a way worse experience than I did is I would never, ever put this on my bottom lash line, ever. And you did. And that was where it went wrong.
But I wear mascara on my bottom lash.
No, I know. Like, you should be able to use your
Absolutely.
mascara on your top and bottom lashes. Like, you shouldn't have to be as high maintenance as I am. The fact that this, literally, if you put this anywhere near your bottom lash line, it's going to go crazy.
I went through more Q-tips today than I have in probably 3 weeks. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Horrible.
Yeah. So it looks good, but you have to work so hard to make it look good that I don't think it's worth it.
I don't think it looks good. Look.
It looked good when I worked with it, but Look at
this. It's terrible.
It looked good when I worked with it, but you shouldn't have to work this hard to make your mascara
Absolutely
look good.
not. To make you late. 30 minutes? Come on. That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. You can do better for cheaper.
You should be able to put your whole face on in 30 minutes, not your damn mascara.
You can do better for cheaper.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
And L'Oreal does better.
Yeah. Even within L'Oreal's brand.
Absolutely.
You can do better.
This little e.l.f. product is a hidden gem. I loved it.
These are the e.l.f. O-Face lipsticks, by the way.
Right. Sorry, O-Face. These are comfortable on your lips. Stayed on all day. The only day that I had a problem was when I used a lip liner that was a little bit more moist than some of the ones that I have that are a little more drying. It stays on all day. Eat, drink, stayed on all day. Comfortable. Very, very comfortable. Loved it. Absolutely. Get this. Get this.
I have it on right now. I think it is so nice. It feels so comfortable on the lips. I mean, like, so light. Like, it barely even feels like it's there. It is a true satin finish, so it's not going to dry down and be totally matte, but it's also not super glossy either. It's very traditional finish. And the staying power is really impressive because it goes on pretty creamy.
It does.
And so I definitely was like, oh, this is going to rub off all over everything.
I thought so too.
And I had like a glass of sangria earlier. I was just, sitting around watching sports and having a little drink. And it comes off a little bit like on the rim of the glass. And I could see that it was there. But as soon as I looked in the mirror, my lips still had like full pigment.
Absolutely.
So it's not transfer proof by any means. But the color is not going to fade. It looks beautiful. I'm gonna get it in another shade. I definitely
Absolutely.
want to have one for my own collection because it's really, really nice. Elf killed it. $9 these are, and the packaging feels really nice.
Oh,
it's
and
like
it's got a magnetic.
yeah, it has a magnetic
Ooh, I love that.
closure and like a soft matte like packaging. It's really high quality feeling for $9.
Good one.
It's super good. Really, really, really like this one. And last but certainly not least, this was the other standout product from my section, I feel. The CoverGirl Yummy Glosses. I love this thing. I would literally walk around my apartment all day and just keep picking this up and putting it on and like picking it up and putting it on for two reasons. One, it feels so good. It is so like smooth and like almost lip oil consistency, but it's the smell is the big thing. The smell is so nice. It just smells like candy or fruit snacks or something. It's so good. I really like that I got one of the darker shades because they're not very pigmented. I feel like pretty much all of the lighter shades in the range are probably just going to look clear. So if that's what you want, cool.
It's what I have on with a lip liner, but I'm honestly, and I've had it on for 3 or 4 hours, so I think it does pretty well.
Yeah, I mean the staying power is not amazing. It's a lip gloss, like it's not gonna stay on all day.
But lip glosses aren't meant to.
They're not supposed to, and especially these that are more of like a lip oil consistency, you might have to reapply it a little more often. But for me, I like applying it so much that I don't mind. Like it feels so good when you put it on. I feel like this actually hydrates your lips. There are a lot of lip glosses that make the claim that they're going to be hydrating and they just sit on top of your lips. I feel like this actually sinks into your lips and is hydrating.
I
so
agree. Absolutely.
I love this thing.
Absolutely.
This one's a winner
That's a good
for
one.
sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's it, you guys. Those were all of our new drugstore products that we tried out. I hope you enjoyed this style of video, sort of getting a couple of different perspectives on some of the new makeup.
Old. Young.
Yeah. Thank you again to Mom for sponsoring this video. Yay, Mom. And yeah, I mean, if you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comments. I'd love to do something like this again. I thought it was a really good time. I liked getting to try each other's stuff, hear each other's opinions.
And we had a great time.
Yeah, it was really fun to make. So I hope you had fun watching it. If you did, leave a like down below, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.